Guys, welcome to episode 39. The loss is still fresh in my mind because it hasn't really sunk in yet because I just started the new episode. Look at that. Aaron Rodgers completed 70% of his passes compared to Cam Newton's 60%. The problem was defense. 94 rating should get you... Ignore that for a second. 94 rating should get you a win. I mean, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, that's not great. But Cam Newton, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 122 yards rushing, 6 yards a carry for him. That was gross. Nothing from F. I mean, just not good at all. Let's look at the Panthers receiving. Greg Olsen had a big game. Devin Funchess, big game. No, not a big game. Just Greg Olsen. Packers. Kyber. After the Packers threw up 391 passing yards, they kind of stunk it up a little bit here. Brady Koprog. That's not what I want. I want a defense. Defensively, just not enough playmakers in the defense. Now we got to worry about this guy who's hurt. See, so statistics says he's hurt. So that is it. Finish the game. Season's over. So we'll get back to you to do a little draft recap, and we'll look to see how Riviera's injury is. And yeah, good luck to Carolina in the Super Bowl. I hope the Bills win. All right, guys, let's have our off-season review of our players. We're gonna look at our draft picks. This is the draft recap portion of the video. So we're gonna go through our positions of the players and give them grades. And I was going to look and tell you that the first player on the list, we're just going by, general. Just going by the list here. It's, let me think about it. Yeah, we're just going to do all the cornerbacks together and all the players at once, because it'll be easier that way. So we're going to start with Julius McFadden, who is in the last year of his contract and was not re-signed. He was a 5th round pick in 17, so the first draft. He played 63 downs in 2 games, doing some backup work for some players that got hurt. He is not developed into the player or anything that we needed, so giving him a failing grade, and he is being let go. Cornerbacks are next on the list, so we'll just hop over here to the cornerbacks and to look at the players. Let me try something here just real quick, bear with me, and then position. That'll put him in the right position. Okay, Matthew Royster is our first player to review. He was a 1st round pick in the 2020 draft. I talked about how good he was doing, and then he really had a stinky second half there against the Carolina Panthers, so that was kind of disappointing. But here we go. He had 2 interceptions, and then in the general we'll see that he played 16 games and 1,000 downs. So he is going to develop into our premier as Demarius and Russell get older and start to slow down. He's going to develop into our starting safety. For his first year, he gets a C+. Let's see. Next up is Marshawn Dobbins, who was a 2020 pick in the 2nd round with slow development. I got the feeling he's going to stick around for a little bit, being a special teams player and like a dime back or something like that. So Like that was a D grade there. And let's just look how many plays he played. 57 plays. So really for a second round pick, that's just a downright fail. Next up is our 2018 pick, Stephen Hashkins, and you can see their ranking here. So stats and contracts. Played a little bit more this year than last year. He didn't play at all. But he fell back. He had a sack. On half the plays. For his requirements. Sorry, just looking through here. Little increase. He got a D plus last year. That's funny. He's a D player. It's not developing very well. Next up is Bradley Roberts, a 7th round pick from last year. Completely a development speed guy. No stats. No stats. That automatically gets an F just because that's what they are. Lecarius Cooks is next. And if I'm not mistaken, Lecarius Cooks is one of our non-resigners. So this was his last year with Packers. This wasn't worth resigning. So you see he has 1 tackle on 1 snap. Here you go, Lecarius Cooks, 7th round pick in the 2018 draft. I'm going to guess that his football career is over. Jabir Overton is the next one. Moved into the practice squad. Yeah, so he has no stats because he was on the practice squad. Second year as being on the practice squad. He is a development player because he's fast. Right. Yeah, 91 speed, so that was that. Next up, we're done with the cornerbacks, is our fullback. The only fullback we drafted, Riley Womack. Hey, ran the ball twice. Got a touchdown. Bet he's keeping that ball, huh? 261 plays. He actually came down. He actually was replaced by Anderson Nordling, the tight end. So he really went down big time in his play and stuff. He's an F player so far. Matthew Royster is the highest paid player with a C+. Next up, we're going to go to the defensive tackle. Jump to the defense real quick here. The only defensive tackle I've taken is this guy right here. Big, strong, big man. Really doing well. I mean, for a normal development player at 86 in his 3rd year, 26 years old, still got 2 years of development left before regression sits in. I'm pretty happy with this pick. This was our 1st round pick in the 2018 draft. 60 tackles, 2.5 sacks, a little down from last year on 1,000 snaps. So that's a pretty decent defensive tackle. He got a B+ last year. He's going to get a B this year. Very happy with his performance. We're going to move to free safety right now. Our first free safety drafted was Diedrich McNair. Drafted last year in the 4th round. Did he get some play time? 8 snaps. Nice job. Development player. Next up is Calvin Samata. Playmaking free safety. Didn't make any plays for us. No plays. But he actually took over for when what's his name was traded? Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde was traded to the Baltimore Ravens, so he took over Micah Hyde's backup position. Sorry, I'm getting back to that spot. Got to play a little bit more. How much more did he get to play? Played half the snaps. But he didn't really back up much half the snaps with any playmaking things. But he did get a bonus, so he's going to get a C-. Next up is halfbacks. Oops. And the first halfback was drafted last year that we're going to discuss here. And unfortunately, Mr. Sinclair ended up on the IR. Wait, let me just go back to statistics here. Sorry. 96 speed. He is just a speed back, but he got hurt, and I just didn't need him in the game, so I put him on IR. And I don't think he got much. Yeah, he went to IR in preseason, I believe. So that's unfortunate. He gets an F for his first year, even though I have hopes that he can be a nice speed back at some point. He's got a lot of competition in front of him. We cut Kent McDonald, the cornerback, a third round pick in 2019 draft. We cut Deidrin Iowa, a 6th round pick for a cornerback. And next up is our pleasant surprise, Jordan Talbert. Jordan got hurt in the beginning of the season, so he did not get a chance to fully take over the role from Dylan Smallwood. He got hurt in preseason. He would have been phenomenal if he wouldn't have got that. I mean, he had 8 touchdowns on 224 attempts. They had 779. I'm sure he had some receiving yards. He's got to work on his catching, though. His catching is pretty bad. And that was on 402 plays. So, I mean, he ran the ball, what, 50% of the time, I guess? 8. That's, yeah. So, I mean, 8 touchdowns. Had a fumble. That's not too bad. I was really happy with Jordan Talbert. He's a superstar development running back going in the future. These statistics, they give him, I don't know. If he'd have played the whole year, he'd have an A+. Played half the year, it gives him a B+. Going B+ on him. Next up, that was our only halfback. The rest of the halfbacks have been Sinclair and him. The other 2 from the earlier drafts have already been cut. Look at this. Next up is our left ends. We drafted a lot of left ends. There's cornerbacks and left ends look like they're really popular. What am I missing here? Left end. There we go. Left end. Kevin McMullen. He was a 2nd round pick in last year's draft. Became an immediate starter. He's a speed rusher, obviously with that 70 strength. We're working on his play recognition and his finesse move. It's funny he has high power move. That doesn't really make sense. He should be finesse move. I learned just because their superstar development doesn't make they're going to be phenomenal. But he has 8.5 sacks. 2 balls deflected, a forced fumble. I'm sure he played a ton. Yeah, he played all of it. So he worked hard. I'm hoping he gets a little better, you know, once we get him developed even more. Start working on that finesse, make him a really nasty speed rusher. But he's gonna get an A minus with lots of excitement ahead. Laser Elston, Lares Alston. That was our next draft. He was drafted second round in 2019. He has no statistics for the 2020 draft, even though he was available. That's a fail, and that's pretty sad. Diamond McFarland is our next one. He was a third round in the 2019 draft. So you see he's got 2 tackles and 1 sack. Hey, got a sack. And he got that 1 sack in 103 attempts. That is not good news. That is a D- player. Moved him to right end from left end. He was drafted in the 2017 draft in 2013 or 2017. He is also one of the not resigned players. So I'm just gonna move over here real quick. Yeah, this is his last year on the Packers. He started out strong, but just his role diminished every year. As you see, he just got 2 tackles on, I'm sure he didn't play much, 28 plays. This is the last year as a Packer. So that's it for him. He's been F'd out. George Cadet is the last left end. Oh no, yes, George Cadet. Gotta go back to the left ends. I'm sure he got more play time than 6 tackles, no sacks, no interceptions. There's just not much here for this 68 plays. It's not pretty. Not pretty. My draft picks really didn't jump in. I haven't had any impactful draft picks. 16 minutes into the video. I'm going to stop for a second here. I'll be back. Internet magic. Left outside linebackers are next. There was 2 drafted so far, and one of them is not on the team. And it looks like we moved him to right outside linebacker. There you go. Prototype right outside linebacker, 88 speed. I really like this guy as being a cover back. That's what I'm working on him. He was a C graded last year, but this year he definitely got a lot more time when Nick Perry got moved to right end. So he played half the downs. Doesn't make many plays apparently. So there's not much there. But overall, all in all, I was got a couple of deflections, and I'm going D+, and I'm hoping he picks it up. I thought his stats would have been a little better. Yeah, they don't count the playoff stats, so we're going to move to the offensive line. Left tackle. Cortland Gilland, 6th round. Let's see if I can find him. Well, you know what? Cortland Gilland didn't make it. He was cut. He was cut at some point. I don't know when he was cut. I don't remember doing it, but he's on the cut list. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I don't see him on there as being a cut player. Not sure what happened to him. Interesting. Well, he was my 6th rounder from Rasheen Hawkins of the middle linebackers. We're going to move on. No point in dwelling on that one. I believe that Rasheen is in his last. This is his last. That was his last game as a Packer. Let's take a look at him. Yeah, see, he went down too. He just didn't. 391 plays. Not much there. One deflected pass. And them the 2017 rookies, they just didn't do much, did they? So, and we're gonna go to punters. I drafted 2 punters so far. One of them has not made it on team. He was signed off the practice squad. First one, and the other punter, Donald Cleveland, is much better. I mean, he was second in punter of the year statistics. His average went down just a little bit. Just a little bit. He regressed a little bit there, it looks like. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with my punting situation. He gets an A. Quarterback is next. I drafted in the 6th round a quarterback that had superstar development, Riley Wilkins, and I traded him away for a 2nd and a 5th. Something else too. I hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire, because Riley Wilkins was pretty solid. I mean, he was going to be pretty good. I mean, Nick Wire will be fine, but he's definitely not Aaron Rodgers level, because we can just kind of look at the statistics here. These stats, obviously, a little stronger on the throw power now. Short accuracy, long accuracy. See, he's just not close to Aaron Rodgers' ability. But smart that is traded. All right, here we go. Here is our stud. Oops. Hey, how'd that happen? Stud right outside linebacker that we drafted in the 4th round of the 2019 draft. But now he is a left outside linebacker, so he switched. No, he's a middle linebacker. That's right, middle linebacker. Moved him to middle linebacker. Jeffrey Riviera, superstar. This guy is the future of the Packers in his 2nd year. 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, 99 tackles, 64 solos. I mean, he's just going to get better, and that was on 1,000 plays. Oh, he didn't even play. Oh, because he got hurt, too. It's a little glassy, too. I'm going to go B+ on the glassy side. B+. Another right outside linebacker that we drafted, and he might move to the left. Chauncey Big B, move around a little bit. Cover 2, left outside linebacker. And as you can see, for the 3rd straight year, he played more, but that's not good. That's not good. He was 2 Fs in a row because he was on the practice squad, and now he didn't really do much there. He's an F player. He's not developing into anything. And one of my favorite players, the favorite player, because he's special to me, because we drafted him first, Brady Kropog. Receptions went up a little bit over last year. The touchdowns jumped way up again. Receiving. Did he do some rushing? No. And he did it on how many plays? 1,200. So he was healthy all year round. I mean, unless he's I'm not giving out A's, A pluses, unless they're Gronk level great. But this is pretty solid. I'm going A. We drafted another tight end in 2019, a blocking tight end that basically took over as the fullback. I don't expect his statistics to be that great because his job is to block people. And he ran the ball once. I know, twice, 2 yards. Or he didn't average anything, but he ran the ball twice. And he played in 782 plays. So we run a lot of 2 tight end sets. He's a C player. He's doing what he's supposed to do, what I've asked him to. Wide receivers are next. Getting close to the end here. We just have wide receivers left. We've drafted 5 wide receivers so far. And this is one of them. The big man. 6'6", fast. Pretty solid. Almost 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's a B- wide receiver. He's got the number 1 role, which probably hurts his average because it's harder to be in that spot. I don't even have to look. I know that he was on every play. Desmond Cobbs is next. He was my kick returner most of the time. It's a fast wide receiver that we're trying to develop. But he had no receptions. But his punt. Oh, that's punts. No, there you go. No TDs, long of 15. 116 plays. He's a C player that gets the job done on the punts returns. I'm gonna go C- because he has no touchdowns. This episode's probably a little longer than normal. This is my dime wide receiver that I might move up a little bit now. It's just starting to need some more time on the field. I think he did some kick returning and punt returning as well. He's just underutilized. He's not jumping out on me, He's a D player. We're going to give him a D+. Got 2 more left. Eugene Goodwin, who didn't make the team. So he was cut at some point. That's interesting. Cut player there. And this guy, and he had one really explosive play that was so helpful. You don't see it because you don't see his. I don't like how they don't do the playoff stats because that's where he had his touchdown. But he's a D player. We're trying to work him in to the system. It's hard to break into the starter systems. So there we go. That was all the players that we drafted so far. Just real quick here, we have it's not counting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players that we have drafted that are no longer in the team, and then some of them, which I will go through, are not going to be on the team next year because they're going to be let go. To finish this episode up, I just want to say that we had lots of awards. We have Pro Bowl makers, the entire offensive line except for J.C. Treader made it. Kareem Russell made it to the Pro Bowl, the cornerback, and he got quick development, which is pretty amazing considering he missed a lot of time with an injury. But he is now a quick development wide thing. Both the punter and kicker made it to the Pro Bowl, and a few defensive players in the Craig Patterson run Coach of the Year, going 13-3 after going 7-9 last year. There we go. We're going to move on to the Super Bowl, and it's the Carolina Panthers versus the Buffalo Bills. Go Buffalo Bills. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching this episode. I'm sorry it was long. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.